Welcome back to the IBFP. Here's your host, Boxing Nuke.
Welcome back, fight fans. Welcome back. Let's just dig into it. The Danny Swift Garcia versus Terence Bud Crawford exchange continues. These guys are still going at each other. You know, this all started back when it came out that Top Rank offered Danny Swift Garcia basically a deal by coming to his father with an offer instead of Al Haymon directly and immediately, because they wanted to ensure that they got the offer. They were unsure that Al Haymon would initially give them the offer. Danny Garcia came out and basically said, if you don't give the offer to my advisor Al Haymon, don't consider it a real offer, basically implying that he's ducking no one and it wasn't a legitimate offer, like it's fake news. Now that makes no sense to me for the simple fact that Terence Crawford's team actually came to your father, a member of your team. So that makes absolutely no sense when Top Ranks reach out to your team directly to make sure you hear the offer. If it was something that he liked, he would have taken the deal. Because it was not an offer that he was interested in, because he didn't want to negotiate and he didn't want to fight Terence Crawford. It's really that simple. You have a lot of biased new media, fake media channels coming out here stating things like, Danny Garcia, it's not his fault. It's basically Top Rank's fault. So you'll see all these fake new media, biased media channels coming out here trying to make it about promoters when the fight isn't about promoters. If Danny Garcia wanted to fight Terence Crawford, that fight would be happening. But instead, they try to turn the tables and make it look like it's Top Rank. If Top Rank was the problem, they would have never fucking reached out. They're brainwashed zombies and PBC fanboys. They can't see anything past that. I'm a boxing fan. I like all boxing. I like PBC. I like The Zone. I like Top Rank. I like Golden Boy. I like anything that's boxing, Matchroom. So I'm not going to fanboy for any of these guys. And if these guys are fucking up, I'm going to call them to the table. But at the same time, there's no mess ups here. None. The only thing that's going on here is that Danny Swift Garcia doesn't want this fight. And these guys led to a heated, Twitter exchange the other day. And basically, Terence Crawford got on Twitter and stated, but I think y'all too blind to see it. Danny Swift Garcia ducked me. They know what it is. They probably told Al. He told them no, but it's all good. We not tripping. Y'all keep thinking what y'all want when y'all don't know nothing. Danny Garcia replied, shaking my head, stop it. We all know Bob didn't call Al. He don't even think he's a real person. LOL. I duck no man. And trust, I made $3 million plenty of times already. Terence Crawford responded one more time. You got the call though. So that's all that matters. You know what's up. Now at this point, even when you look at Danny Garcia's fucking response, this guy says, I duck no man, and trust, I made $3 million plenty of time. So basically, you're not denying that the offer wasn't made, but because you're talking about Al Haymon, you're not talking about your team. You're not talking about your team. You're talking about Al Haymon. So you got the offer. You know about the offer. And then you just said, I've made $3 million plenty of times. So that means you're not even interested in the offer. You have to read between the lines, and you can't be a fanboy shilling for the PBC or any of these guys. Al Haymon, he probably went to Al Haymon after he got the offer and said it's not enough money. He's not interested in risking getting another loss against a world champion like Terence Crawford. Really, Danny Garcia is not deserving to fight a guy like Terence Crawford. If we're being honest and unbiased, you're coming off a fucking loss. You're coming off a loss and immediately being offered a huge purse. And it's not just $3 million. It's pay-per-view buys as well. Then on top of that, you get a world title opportunity against arguably the best pound-for-pound fighter in Terence Crawford. Why wouldn't you want to take that opportunity? Because he understands that stylistically it's a terrible matchup for Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia is too slow and methodical to be able to beat a Terence Crawford. And so I believe that, Danny Garcia fought a Keith Thurman, a Sean Porter, and he lost those fights in close competitive fights. He could have easily won those fights. But against a Terence Crawford, I actually think Terence Crawford stops Danny Garcia. I think he stops him late in the rounds, and I think he punishes him and brutalizes him through the whole fight. I think that he does not want to give Terence Crawford that opportunity. And I think for Terence Crawford, it may be a bad fight to take too soon because people wouldn't give him the amount of credit for it because it would be so so early because he's coming off of loss. And now the fact that Danny Garcia is making a big deal about it, this is the way you approach it. So this is the great thing for Terence Crawford and Top Rank. You have to start calling these guys to the table because these guys don't want to fight. He's already approached Errol Spence Jr. and Errol Spence wants no smoke. He's approached Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia made it clear that he wants no smoke. Keith Thurman has already backed away out of this situation, basically talking down on Terence Crawford, but not even acknowledging him as a legitimate champion, not wanting to fight him, not wanting to step in the ring with him. And we also know that Sean Porter won't even mention his name. So at this point, you understand that the entire PBC wants no smoke with Terence Crawford. They're completely ducking him and trying to box him out. So at the end of the day, do not blame Terence Crawford for taking any other fights against a Luis Collazo or any other opponent, because he's trying to make the biggest and best fights. Once again, unbiased, the IBFP.